Assalamu Alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته.
I'm Yasmin,
I'm Fatu.
and you're listening to
The Silent Path.
So, on today's episode, we will be talking about respect versus blind obedience, culture edition.
Heavy on this.
Heavy on this, okay? So, you're probably wondering, no, you're not wondering because
You
we're
don't even
very
know.
much culture. Like, the motivation for this podcast was like, have you ever tried letting a relative know that a certain thing is either innovation, haram, or just frowned upon in Islam, and they just look at you, but it's our culture, or like, what do you know? Man. The flashbacks. But anyway, I know that many of us struggle with this. Like, if you're, let's say, African, Arab, Indian, whatever, even Asians, not gonna lie, like, this is very international. So we have this episode to reflect upon that because, and we also are gonna speak about how this specific problem is not okay, and how it is always okay to give da'wah to your relatives. You're trying to guide them. You're not trying to sit here and insult their intelligence or whatever. Matter of fact, when they say, "What do you know?" that's them insulting your intelligence. But anyways,
So, innovation and shirk in our cultures. First of all, innovation is worship or practices that have no precedent in the teachings of Prophet Muhammad
sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
or the Quran. Shirk is worshipping anything other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala or putting something on the same level to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
West Africans' example of this, Marabout. People go to them for protection, success, love spells, usually wearing amulets with Quranic verses and saying it is for protection. They put them on a high pedestal and start believing that these talismans are more helpful or more beneficial than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But this is wrong. Allah is the all knowing. He is perfection. Go to Him if you have troubles, if you have hardships, if you want love. Okay? Okay.
Okay. Heavy on this. Let's say in Morocco, the evil eye is something that's seen too often. Like, sometimes it be all over the walls and everything. Like, some truly believe that this eye can protect them, while others just wear it for like the Arab aesthetic. Like, they be like, "Oh, that's an Arab right there," or whatever. Like, girl, what? Anyways, even if your intentions are proper, why risk Jahannam over? Like, for me, it's like, imagine you have the bracelet or whatever. Mind you, it's like, why? I feel like, in my opinion, why even disrespect Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala like that? Like, it's like wearing a cross. Like, people don't like to think of it that way, but it's true. It's like, if you're wearing a cross, a'udhu billahi min shaitan rajim, like, you would be like, oh, astaghfirullah, yada yada yada, but like, you're literally wearing the evil eye. So it's like, Silaman Bai is the same thing, right? So, as I said, it's like, imagine risking your akhirah for a bracelet. What are you talking about? Like, for a bracelet? But it's like, imagine, like, in Judgment Day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking to you about your good days and bad days, and the reason He tells you that the reason you're going to Jahannam is because you wear this bracelet. Like, no. You're gonna be, girl, and mind you, shirk is not a sin to mess around with.
Heavy on this.
Shirk is forever Jahannam, one-way ticket.
Zodiac signs, like all this. Like,
Yeah, just anything that has to do with the fact that, like, it can tell the future, or it's something that only the creator would know, or like only the creator is able to do such a thing, then it's shirk. Also, why not just put Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the only divine creator? Why are you sitting here thinking that this evil eye can protect you? I understand if you believe in evil eye as if, like, oh, people can give you evil eye. That's a whole different topic. But you believing in this eye could literally risk your entire akhirah, and you don't even know it. So now that you know it, do something about it.
heavy on this.
In Surah 4, Ayah 48, indeed Allah does not forgive associating others with Him in worship, but forgives anything else of whoever He wills. And whoever associates others with Allah has indeed committed a grave sin. This demonstrates that the set articles of faith relating to the being and attributes of Allah Almighty, of the sine qua non of religion, and holding any belief similar to these in favor of whoever and whatever He has created in shirk. Some of the forms it takes are shirk in knowledge. Okay? This is the ascribing of a partner to Allah in matters of knowledge, ilm in Arabic. For let's say, for example, believing that a certain pious person or spiritual master or the head of a mystical order knows about everything in this universe all the time. Other forms could be asking an astrologer or a fortune teller or a diviner about things that are going to take place in a person's life, like things which belong to the unseen world, which, by the way, is an exclusive domain of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or take omen, which is fal in Arabic, from the words written by a pious person and believing that it has got to happen, or calling someone from a considerable distance and believing that the person has become all aware of the call or keeping a fast dedicated to someone other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In conclusion, trying to understand a certain thing that does not come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, meaning as they gave an example, going to a fortune teller and trying to be like, oh, will I fall in love? What time will I die? Yada yada yada. Do you truly believe that anyone on this earth could tell you that?
I know this.
The answer is no. So, and that's shirk, by the way. Like, even with the evil eye, I can relate back to the evil eye. Let's say if you believe the evil eye can protect you from something or give you signs, like they be saying, like, oh, if you wear a certain bracelet, it can break. I forgot, but that was a
Right.
trend like a year ago or something.
Yeah.
Do you really think this bracelet is gonna do that? Matter of fact, from what I understood, it was just a low quality bracelet. Like, it was literally just made from bad iron or a certain type of metal that it would break after some
That's so
time.
hilarious.
So it's like, no, like, just put your trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you have any worries or concerns, why not just talk to the most divine person? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, the One. He has a book filled with everything. Why are you out here asking a chair or a cow or a statue? Like, what are you talking about?
Heavy on this.
No hate to any religion or anything or anybody or whatever.
In shirk and ibadah, this means the ascribing of a partner in Allah in the act of worship, ibadah, which is the sole due of Allah. Some of the forms it could take are to go down in sajda for anyone, to release an animal dedicated in the name of somebody. Do y'all West Africans hear that? Making ceremonious offering for a person or thing. Do y'all hear that too? Living or dead. To make a vow in someone's name, to make tawaf of someone's grave or house, to give preference to someone else's words or custom as against God's own command, to make bows before anyone in the manner of a ruku, the bowing position peculiar to Muslim prayer, to slaughter an animal in the name of someone, to take the affairs of the mortal world as subservient to the effect and influence of stars, and to regard some month as ill-omened, wretched, and things like that. That is an act of shirk in ibadah.
Heavy on this, like, for when we mentioned shirk in knowledge and shirk in ibadah, just to be clear, we gave you all of the type of scenarios and situations you would be in that would lead you to commit the sin. Okay. I also wanted to say, I remember asking my mother a while back about how, like, when you gotta obey your parents, birrul walidain, stuff like this. So I just, classically, calmly, respectably asked her if let's say she asked me to do something haram, should I do it? And she said no, because at the end of the day, it's truly Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala over anything and everyone. And that goes back to being able to ask your elders questions without being like, oh, what the hell, stuff like this. Like, please, being curious is healthy. The thing is, whenever we advise, most parents or whatever, or even all, not gonna lie, were raised being told the same thing for many, many generations. Even if it wasn't right, like, it didn't even matter if it was right or wrong, they were raised upon it. They were taught it. That is what they grew up on, and that is what they learned. So when their own kids, let's say, start to stick up to it, they be like defending a different type of ideology, which is true in their eyes. It's as if they are seen like weaker or not knowledgeable or whatever, especially since their own child is advising them that certain things that they do in their culture go against Islam or they're frowned upon. The thing is, we advise them because not many parents were taught the importance of Islam. I feel like when you're raised with Islam, you just take it as a chill pill, whatever. I feel like that's the reason maybe most reverts they take it more seriously,
Mm-hmm.
because they're like, okay, you know what, it's time to chop chop, yada yada yada. I feel like this goes with school even.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's say you go to a new school, most people anyway, I assume they try to take it seriously, but the kids that were there for a while, they're like, okay, whatever, say chill, they already know everything about it, they know like the cuts and corners, so they just be chilling, so I feel like it's the same thing. Today we like to say that, let's say it's watered down, like the religion is watered down, but the truth is it's been this way because of the our culture. I feel like we always try to put like a culture spin to it, which is okay. But it's about the fact that you need to have your priorities straight. Okay?
Yes.
It's religion over culture, not culture, and you try to make religion fit into it. That's not how religion works, okay? Not Islam anyway. Mind you, Islam is perfect. So if you try to like mess up the principles or whatever, you're now playing a whole other dangerous game. Because of the lack of education in our cultures or whatever, like let's say for example Mali in Africa, it was a constant like telephone game, a thing of he said, she said, so we will all just do it. But it gets to a point, not gonna lie. Just because something was in your family for many generations, that does not mean it excludes the fact it's haram. Like, no, it's haram for you, it's haram for them. Like, obviously, certain exceptions, but culture is not an exception, Mabel. Like, it was not an exception, and I don't think it will ever be an exception. Something that we can do to fix this though, because it needs to stop now. As we said, leave this in 2025. Leave this tonight, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We should communicate. I know, especially like Arabs and African parents, like communication what? They gonna laugh at you. They don't even know what that is. So, but it's important to at least start building that communication. Better late than never. Be that one person in your family, be that person that actually stands up for Islam. Be that person that's like, you know what, I'm not an actress, so I'm not gonna sit here and fake about it. I'm not gonna move around it. It is important to have good communications, especially with your parents, okay? It's literally the bare minimum and the base of fixing things. When they tell you, oh, what do you know? Yada yada yada, just say the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay? Because at the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the all knowing. They are not. Okay? Let them know that you are not trying to disrespect the culture, or let's say the family values or the reputation or whatever they got going on, because culture is beautiful. As I said, like, you can have culture and religion, but you just have to have your priorities straight. Culture is so beautiful and it makes you who you are. It's so unique. But they need to know that you're just educating them on certain aspects of the culture, because some of them are literally haram. Okay? But in the end, we all know that it isn't easy. So if you try and they still don't do it, don't beat yourself up over it. Try to remember all of the prophets. Like, let's say we talked about Surah Nuh and how he tried to advise his people and everything, even his own son and wife, but they didn't listen. Even when literally the flood was there, they said, nah, we can save ourselves. So don't beat yourself up over it. Just know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has a plan. Okay? Have tawakkul and sabr, defend Islam, and do what's right. And
Inshallah,
inshallah, may Allah make it easy for us.
inshallah.
Inshallah, Ameen.
Hadith take on advising and spreading knowledge. Ibn Rajab, may Allah have mercy on him, said, with regard to giving sincere advice to the Muslims, the one who wishes to do that should love for them for what he loves for himself, hate for them for what he hates for himself, and feel compassion for them, show mercy to their young ones, show respect to their elders, and share their grief and their joy, even if that is detrimental to his worldly interests, such as loving for prices to be dropped for them, even if that causes him to lose some profits on what he sells of trade goods. By the same token, he should hate everything that he could cause them harm.
Mm-hmm.
So, before I even read the rest, I just want to say this relates back to what we said, because when it comes to advising your parents, or when it comes to advising whoever you know is doing things that are haram, make sure you do it with the pure intentions. Make sure you want whatever you want for yourself, you want for them. And I feel like that's something you should also say when you are giving advice and giving that communication to your parents. You would want to say that I want what's good for you, what I want for myself. And inshallah, may it come easy, and inshallah, may they understand,
Inshallah,
because
Ameen.
it's definitely, definitely important. Continuing, he should love what is good for them and hope for harmony to exist among them and for them to continue enjoying the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He should pray that they always prevail against their enemies and that all harm be warded off from them. Abu Amir ibn As-Salah said, Nasiha, sincerity, sincere advice, is a comprehensive word which means that the one who is sincere should want all kinds of good for the ones to whom advice is offered and should try to achieve that for him. Jami al-Ulum wal-Hikam, page 80. So know that when advising one, make sure you do it with sincere intention, especially when it comes to your parents. Do it from a place of respect and love. Love what is good for them, hate what is bad for them, and if they refuse to listen, talk to an imam about advising them, or talk to an elder who they know they'll listen to. Inshallah.
Inshallah, I mean, having on this, I feel like in this day and age, everybody want the worst for everybody else.
Mhm.
I don't understand this mentality. Like, you really out here preying on people's downfalls? Pick up a hobby, go fishing. I don't know, man. Start painting or something. Like, for me personally, if I were to give someone advice, I always give them advice based off of something that I would do for myself,
Mhm.
because I assume I would want the best for myself. So I would want the best for the next person. Even if I don't like you, or like, let's say I just, whatever reason, even if, let's say, I don't agree with your lifestyle or whatever, I still want the best for you. I don't want harm on anybody. And I think this is so underrated. I don't understand. This pisses me off. Like, people say that it's free to be kind, but it's also free to be harm. But why cause harm?
Okay on this. Now, our favorite topic, extravagant marriages. We advise because when it comes to African and Arab culture, having a big wedding is a must. We spend so much money on a celebration that lasts one. Yes, we only find our nasib once, inshallah. But spending all that money to spending all that money to show off is haram. You don't want to start such a beautiful blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a haram celebration. You want to start off your marriage with doing good things,
Mhm.
doing all this good so that inshallah so much blessing, so much
Mhm.
barakah goes into your marriage.
Mhm.
You don't want to start such a beautiful blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with a haram celebration. Being halal doesn't have to be boring. You don't need loud music, free mixing to have a good time. You can have a simple nikah with just your close friends to really savor the moment with your spouse. Socialize with your loved ones. Stay within your limits. No non-mahrams.
أعوذ بالله.
Or if they're there, make sure that you have your mahrams there with you. How beautiful would it be to give charity on this day? Allahumma back. Like imagine you're giving to others on this day. On a day when it's just you two. Certain traditions, even after the celebration, is so sad and disappointing, and may Allah make it easy for all of us. Inshallah, I mean.
Inshallah, I mean, I agree with this. Like, imagine you start off your amazing blessing with giving, as I said, for example, giving to charity. Like, imagine you guys are together, you guys are giving food to others, you see the smile. What a humble thing to do. I feel like that's so beautiful. As a Muslim woman, as a Muslim man, you will have an identity outside of your marriage, but marriage should be a big part of your life. It's not an easy thing to do. So, would you rather your marriage be one of the reasons where you got closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you're becoming a better person, you see the life in different colors, meaning like is life's great, alhamdulillah, and your akhirah is even better? Or would you want to have a depressing marriage where you're out here rethinking your whole life, wondering what happened, thinking that, oh, I missed when whatever, like my life before?
Mhm.
You wouldn't want that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So, as she said, start off your marriage with something halal, with a
Mhm.
blessing.
Yes.
Okay, not everybody will meet their nasib in this life.
Yes.
So while you have your nasib, take care of that.
Mhm.
Take care of him or her.
Exactly. And I feel like people like they just like the idea of marriage rather than marriage itself. Like especially in like us West Africans. Um we spend so much like okay not we I'm not married yet guys, y'all spend so much money money on these different outfits that are like not even modest. They're so expensive. These venues with all this music that cost extra money, and then not even that, you're free mixing, you're dancing, all this loud music, all this entertainment for one night. You're spending so much money on yourself for one night, and then it's like in your marriage now you're going to have to be like, oh, Now we have to give back to all of them. Now we have to do this and that and the third. You're always wondering how can your marriage start off with so much expenses? It's because you spent it for this one night. And it's because a lot of like us West Africans, even like in this community, in the NYC community, like you guys all think that like they just have a ranking of whose marriage was the best. They just
Mm-hmm.
want that ideology of having the best marriage, of having something that people talk about, this, that, and the third, having your Instagram be filled with like all this, oh my god, your wedding was so beautiful, da 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 da, like da da da, this, that, and the third, like this, that, and the third. But it's like, imagine, like, just think about it like this, like a private marriage. Your husband brings his close friends, you bring your close friends, y'all guys are divided in a different way. You guys have like small little games if you want. Doesn't have to be music, doesn't have to be partying, dancing. You guys are all giving dua, you guys are all giving to charity, making sure everybody's eating well. You guys are all like crying, letting them like have
Hmm.
like giving them dua and like success, and putting and making sure that Allah puts barakah in their marriage. Imagine that marriage literally, inshallah, it will literally go into a blessing. Like it will become something so much greater and so much better because it was literally built on halal love
Mm-hmm.
and like this like goodness, basically goodness.
MashaAllah. Inshallah, we all get to experience this in our lifetime. Inshallah, Ameen.
Inshallah.
Let's say for Arabs, I don't know, me personally, whenever I went to a wedding, usually they're separated boys and girls. So that the women, they do their hair, you can see her, they're all dressed up and stuff. And this is halal, mind you. Like everyone's looking great, but because there's no men there, it's all halal. Another thing is that like people always say like, oh, what about the music? Yes, there was music in these weddings, but I can give so many other things, like let's say the food. Even though it's low-key frowned upon and it's not good to feast your mouth and yeah, it's still a good way to bond over food at the same time. I feel like there are certain dishes you only make during marriages and stuff. And as I said, don't fact check me if this is haram. I'm just saying like I assume it's only frowned upon, so it's still halal to make the food and everything. You can also play games. Like sometimes people they do this thing where they ask the groom and the bride questions. They be like, "Oh, who did this first? Who said like, who was interested first?" Or like, you know what
A
I
dumb
mean?
questions.
Yeah, and they play this game and stuff. It would be really funny. So you can have a halal wedding. Mind you, another plus side is if you have a small private wedding, you can get that money for that honeymoon. You can have those big bucks for the honeymoon. You can go travel for a month or two
Yeah,
wherever you want with your husband. Now y'all are married, y'all can do anything.
because y'all save y'all money
Yeah, like instead of doing it for a wedding with people you don't even like, for stress, and you just want the night to be
for
over
fame.
and yada yada yada, and people can talk about it, and you just nah, why do all that? Just have a nice simple nikah with your close friends, have fun. As we said, savor the moment. You don't get married every day. And then your honeymoon could be something nice. You can go to hotels, travel 5 countries, and then really spend time with your husband. Also, another plus side which can be negative is that like you can also really get to know him. They always say like you don't know a person until you live with them. This goes the same thing for traveling. Now you actually get to know him because you're gonna travel with him. If you see that maybe he's not the one, yeah, then better safe than sorry,
Better
I
late than
guess.
never.
Better late than never, I guess.
Better
Like
late. I don't know.
it's like better late than never,
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever.
So yes. But next up we have the Quranic take on like excessive riches, free mixing and partying. In Surah Muhammad, ayah 28. Okay. This is because they follow whatever displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and hate whatever pleases him. So he has rendered their deeds void. Okay? In Surah Yunus, Ayah 70, it is only a brief enjoyment in this world, then to us is the return. Then we will make them taste the severe punishment for their disbelief. I feel like it's very self explanatory. Like, people tend to forget that there's truly an akhirah. Like, this world is not a game, okay? It's
Mm-hmm.
not like a reset button, it's not Minecraft, you know? There really is an end time. So, use this time wisely.
And yeah, like um in the ayah 28 from Muhammad, this is because they follow whatever displeases Allah and hates whatever pleases him, so he has rendered their deeds void. Imagine that. like because you love extravagant marriages so much, because you want to see this talisman, and you want to do buy evil eye bracelets because of the beauty of it, because of how it's
Mm-mm.
so normalized and stuff. Like, Alhamdulillah, not Allah will render your deeds void. He will take your good deeds because you want to go out there and collect bad deeds, like their Pokemon coins, like their Bitcoins, like
Pokemon coins, yeah.
I don't
Pokemon
know.
coins. Now, but heavy on this though. Like as I said, people really be out here like getting a thrill from doing bad things. Like, what is going on?
Like, let's please, I'll make it easy for us because it's so important to
Inshallah,
just.
I mean,
I know it's how hard it is, especially like when we relate this back to culture, we relate this back to our parents, because it's usually, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's them who like encourage these extravagant marriages,
but
but they, but
it's
it's definitely them who like put in that idea because of all the like showing off and the gold and the marriages and wanting to wear the biggest like dumpe and the like
yeah.
and having all this gold jewelry and like doing all of this, like they made it encouraging for you to the point where it's like they beautified it, and it's like that is so important to like stay away from, and it's good to communicate that to your parents, because all these extravagant marriages, not only is it debt to you, but it's also debt to them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I know in like my culture, like when they have weddings like this, like parents are always giving the money away, like giving it to the aunties and uncles who came, putting all the money into their either their daughter or their son's marriage and stuff like this, and like it's this big haram marriage. Like, guys, bro, like this, I'm saying, all
Mm-mm.
this money, you can take an umrah trip, bro. Listen, like
Heavy on this.
you can go to Las Vegas if you want to. Okay, well, that's not a good example. I mean,
Las Vegas is crazy. This is not where you want
listen,
to be.
okay,
Getting married again?
no, no, like you can go places, you can
Yeah,
do
like
this
there's
and
a
that.
donut shop there. I know you guys know her, like Saint Honoré or whatever. She has these life changing donuts, the creme brulee ones and stuff. Yo, you can go there. Yeah, take
Who's
me with
going
you
to
though,
Las Vegas for a donut?
girl. You know how good there's like a meal fade donut. No, her donuts are life changing, guys. If you no, guys. If you go, please invite me. My name is Yasmin, and I'm ready. Okay, I'm going there for the food. Okay, not
Bro,
for the haram things, not the
so easy,
casinos.
bro. Listen.
Easy. Listen, guys, she don't get it. She doesn't know these donuts. They have a pink latte and everything. You don't know what's up. Listen.
Ooh, you got me a latte though.
No. She not
I
coming.
love
She
coffee.
she too hard,
I
right?
love coffee. No, listen.
No, you too difficult. You missed out. Okay. But
But
yeah,
yeah, stop.
mind you, in like I think in Arabic weddings, I haven't been to many madhabs, but I think the guests give us money actually.
Mm, they
So
do that too. But that's the thing. Like for because of that, because that happens to us too. Like after the marriage, now is like in our culture we have to give all that money back.
oh nah,
Like
bro,
we have to
listen up.
either if it's not money, it's like we have to give gifts so much because she came to her wedding, we can't do that to them, we can't do that, da da da. So that's
Mm-mm.
yeah.
I feel like that's bad though. I feel like I would understand if there was a debt to
Mm-hmm.
like let's say the people in the wedding
Yeah,
because so many people gave them money
it's
for kind of
yeah.
no reason.
It's
Not gonna
like the
lie,
silent telephone. Like it's not. They don't say you have to, but it's like something that's encouraged. Like it's not like they're saying, "Oh, you have to give the money back." Like it's
but
not
it's
this.
an
It's the
expectation.
expectation, exactly.
Nah, I find that weird. I mean, if you give money, you should give it from the bottom of your heart, from your heart. Excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
whoa. But that's something I really like about Arabs. We're so generous. Like
Mm-hmm.
like I know you guys seen them videos about them fighting for the bill. Nah,
How many of this?
that's I love Arabs because we're so generous and
I love Arabs too.
I know you do, but anyways, so I really like this about us. I feel like this is a beautiful quality. We're really, really generous, and I love people that are generous. Like I cannot be with greedy people. Please have shame and have no.
How many of
Like
this?
greedy is insane, but yeah. So that was that. Like really, just have a simple nikah. Matter of fact, if you wanna think of like a nice halal nikah, try to look at Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's wedding. There is a hadith reported by Al-Tirmidhi and Ibn Majah publicized the marriage, executed at the mosques, and celebrated with drums. Another hadith reported by Ahmad al-Tirmidhi, Nasi'i, and Ibn Majah. The difference between a legitimate, let's say halal, and an illegitimate, which is haram, marriage is the presence of voices and drums. So there is no dispute, honestly, amongst scholars that in a wedding celebration, the Prophet Muhammad SAW allowed women to use drums. Okay, Men can also use drums in order to publicize the marriage, known near and far. The noble Islamic purpose of such publicity is to distinguish between an evil and illicit relationship and a pure desirable marriage. Okay?
Mhm.
So you can look up to this. Okay? Don't forget, at the end of the day, all of our prophets are role models and their wives. Okay? So if you want to see, like, oh, what type of ideal lifestyle or whatever, they always do that. They're like, oh, what lifestyle is meant for me? Yada, yada, yada. Start looking at your role models, you
Mm-hmm.
know? And then if, let's say, there are certain things here and there that don't fit, you can adjust, you can adapt. You know, at the end of the day, their times were different as well. So we got to keep that in mind.
Maybe
Okay?
on this.
So, yes, that was it for this episode. Not gonna lie, we talked about a lot of things. I hope it encouraged you guys to start defending yourselves and defending the honor of Islam, and to even purify your intentions when doing so, because at the end of the day, it's not to be rude or feel like you're almighty or knowledgeable or that you're trying to insult their intelligence or make them feel bad, but it's really to just increase everybody in knowledge and to guide them, inshallah, so that they can be in Jannatul Firdaus. Inshallah,
Inshallah, I
ameen.
mean.
Take care of your loved ones, take care of your parents, okay? You
Mm-hmm.
might be mad at them, especially at this age, probably like, oh, my mom don't know this, don't know that. But trust me, okay? Bir al walidain, your mom sacrificed so much that you don't even know about,
Maybe
okay?
on this.
And you will probably never know about.
And it's like, don't even like put the blame on them. Like this, like I said, it's been in the family for generations and generations. It's not that, oh, like they're the ones that created this like weird thing that disrespects Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No, it's because they were taught it because education was so limited. So it's like when you're giving that knowledge, when you're trying to educate them, like try to come from a place of just love, and you're doing it because you want what's good for them. Because whatever's good for you, whatever you want that's good for you, you give to them. You know. So it's like just do that. And I know it's hard, especially like Malian household girl. It was not easy to come to your parents and be like, what they're doing is like wrong and stuff. But like we said, have patience. You know, I'm not with that person, but anyway.
I'm not
Um,
part of whatever she's talking about, okay? Anyways,
but yeah,
thank you guys so much for listening to
the
The
silent
Silent
path.
Path.
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم